Does black look good on everyone? We're about to find out. Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to cover a slightly controversial topic, which is regarding the color black. You hear all the time in media, whether it's blogs, television, magazine, print, whatever, that black looks good on everyone. Buy the little black dress. Black always looks good. It's a fail-safe. It goes with everything. But does it actually look good? My answer is no. And the reason I wanted to cover this is because there's a lot of information you hear regarding colors online, the do's and the don'ts. And what I've found over the years by analyzing people with their colors is that so many men and women are confused as to what colors make them look the most powerful, the most magnetic, the sharpest, and is in most harmony with who they are as an individual, because our color palettes, when you're doing an analysis, both resonate with our personalities. They make our skin glow. They make like the eye color look sharper and more rich. Everything about our coloring just looks like it's in harmony with who we are, and all of our color palettes mix and match with one another. But having said that, the one thing that's been so hard for women and men to get rid of out of their closets is black, because let's be honest, a lot of us fill our closets with them. I was totally like this myself even before I had had my color analyzed. I had so much black in my closet and all these jewel tones because I was told in order to brighten me up, because you know, I'm fair, that I needed these jewel tones and black to create more contrast in my coloring. And so when I found out I was a true spring, or that I couldn't wear black, it was a shock. It was a shock to the system. But it makes such a difference with people when we are wearing the correct colors, when we have colors that harmonize with who we are. And that's what I want to cover today, is looking at black a little bit more in depth. Now, for those of you that actually want to help people find colors that resonate with their coloring and make them glow and give them a sharper image in business and a more magnetic presence when it comes to their style, I would love to have you inside of my online color analysis training. This is something that I personally have been doing for 15 years with my clients. I have taught color analysis in colleges and online now as well. And it's just such a passion project of mine, because it still to this day blows my mind as to what a difference it makes with people when they are wearing colors that harmonize with them. And so I would love to show you how to do this for others, whether you want to add it to an image consulting or styling business, or if you're someone that just wants to create a business around color, I would love to help you do that. It is 6 very in-depth modules showing you both how to do this in person and online, because I do believe you have to have the virtual skill for your businesses nowadays. And I'm going to cover how you can also create a minimum of 10K months for yourself in your business, that I've been doing with mine over and over again over the years. And so this is a beautiful deep dive into the world of color. We get into color healing, color theory, the science of color, the energetics of color, and again, how to perform this beautiful service and grow a business around this beautiful, beautiful thing. So I would absolutely love to have you. The doors for this registration are currently open. I will leave the link for my color analysis training down below, but I would love to have you. It's been one of the most fun services that I've offered in my business since day one, and truly I still believe is one of the largest things that has such a massive impact on people right from the get-go. And the beautiful thing is that my color students are working. They are already serving people. We just finished our last class back in April. It was fantastic. And these gorgeous souls are already changing people's lives with color and showing them what a difference it makes with their style and beauty. So again, I will leave the link for that down below. Now, as we dive into black, the color black, or the shade of black, the thing with color analysis that I want you to know, because not everyone's familiar with what color analysis is, and it is a process of finding colors that harmonize best with the undertone, value, and intensity of your skin, of your coloring. And so you want to make sure that the colors that you wear ideally every day, are ones that harmonize with you, that enhance your look naturally and give you an effortless glow. Because when we're wearing colors that harmonize with us, our skin looks smoother, our skin looks brighter, it looks healthier, more rich. Our eye color looks rich, our hair color looks more rich. We give off just a sharper image and we're more noticeable because there's just something about that person when they're wearing a color that resonates with them. You may have had this experience when you are watching loved ones or family, and maybe they come into your world all of a sudden one day and you go, ooh, you look so good today. And you can't figure out what the difference is because they haven't really done anything different. It's a color that makes them glow. And this is the power of color analysis that I love it so much because it's so clarifying and it eliminates the stress of figuring out what colors to wear, because we've all been on the hunt for the perfect red lipstick or the perfect pink or the perfect nude. And when you know colors that work well for you, it eliminates all of that stress and gives you a guide on what things to look for when you're in stores, what beauty products are going to look best. And so all that stress of trying to figure that out, can you imagine, is just gone, which I love about it so much. And so with that said, let's dive into the world of black and look at some of the characteristics of it and what that would mean in terms of harmonizing with someone in particular. So when we're thinking of black, we're thinking of something that has or is a dramatic shade or color. This is a very cool toned color, cool or neutral, right? Because you can have like a warmer or more neutral black or a softer black, or you can have a true black like this. And so it's a cooler or a slightly more neutral shade or color that has a very deep value to it, right? There's a lot of shading in this color, right? Because it is a shade. It's a very intense color and there's a richness behind it, some drama. It is very bold in its coloring and it's very high contrast as well. So if we're talking about color and what harmonizes with someone that can pull off the color black, you would also want someone that has drama, has a deeper value to their skin potentially, has a higher contrast look, and has a richness to their skin also that would harmonize with this type of color. You would also want someone that may have a cool or more neutral undertone to be able to carry off this color. So I'm sorry to all my warm tone people, but black is not great for you. And so when we're looking at this color, again, when you need the depth, the coolness, the intensity that black offers, the contrast, you can think of someone that may match that. And so to give you an example of this in real time, I am a true spring for those of you that are familiar with color analysis already. And black is just not in my color wheel. And you know, if you watch my channel, it is very rare you will see me in the color black. Now, I have it because there are situations for formality or lifestyle requirements where I may need to wear black, like for a funeral, for example. Black is very traditional in that sense, or black tie, let's say, for example, but even then you can get around it. But having said that, black, when I put this on, actually, hold on. My green is going to overpower here. I need to put on a drape, which is what you should have on in a color analysis anyway. Let's put this little baby on here. So I'm going to put on a warmer tan. This is a very light tan, which suits my coloring because I'm also very light. I'm creating harmony with that. And then I take black and I put this around my coloring. Now, there are going to be some people, some of you watching, that will say, well, I like the contrast. I like contrast. That is a preference that you can have with color, but this creates too much contrast with me because number one, you'll see that the coloring's washed for me. Now, I have makeup on right now. In a color analysis, you want a complete bare face. So we're just gonna see where your eye tracks as you watch this. But when I have black on, you can see the eye goes here and then my face. There's a lack of harmony here. And so when I move from this color to here, do you see how now you look at me and the tan at the same time? It's softer and more in harmony with my coloring. It's light like I am. Whereas again, when I move it back to black, see how again this is harsh? The eye again zooms down here. And so again, I pop in some people's opinion because there's a contrast. But again, the eye's not looking at me, it's looking at the color. And so when I go from here to here, again, now you can see me in the color at the same time, if we're just talking like neutrals here. And again, it's because the warmth harmonizes with me. The other thing too is that I will get a heavier shadowing when I am wearing the black. And when I put it to the tan, the shadowing in my face looks like it lifts more because again, this is in line with my coloring. And so black for me is one of the worst shades or colors to wear because it's against everything that has to do with my color in particular. It's so incredibly harsh. And so if I were a client, let's say, for example, or if I were the old version of me that was wearing black a lot of the time, you know, I feel like I have to compensate in the morning when I'm getting ready by maybe putting on a bolder lip color, a lot darker eyeshadow. Maybe I would go for a darker smoky eye. I would have to make my makeup more dramatic to suit the dramatic coloring of the black. And this is one of the things I tell people when they say, oh, well, you know, you can just put a little makeup on and you would look more colored. If you're doing that, if you have to do that to balance out the color you're wearing, it shows that the color doesn't suit you. You want to be able to wear something without makeup and know that it works with your skin coloring and just enhances it. You don't want to have to enhance your coloring because of the color that you're wearing. Does that make sense? And so again, this is just so not in harmony with me, but this is. So if you want to think of someone that can pull off black really beautifully, we can think of Cher, for example. She is a winter, and the winters, I mean, they just have such a beautiful palette that is high contrast and filled with really rich jewel tones. It is such a striking palette. You can see the black here on the corner. But even with this, although the vibrancy of this is correct, because winter and springs have that in common, the undertone is wrong for me. And I am not as high contrast as this palette. So if I were doing the winter to spring, do you see how you see me and the color here equally? Right? You can see me in all of these colors. It harmonizes my skin tone. My face looks like it's picked up. My skin looks smoother here. And again, I say this knowing that I have makeup on. But when I go from here to here, do you see how there's less harmony? Your eye immediately goes down here and it creates a harsher shadow under my jawline. Here you see me in the color equally. Here you do not. You guys see the difference of that? You see me equally? Not at all, right? And it is a subtle difference. So if we're thinking of someone that can wear the winter palette, again, Cher, Lucy Liu would look gorgeous in this. And we're looking at people that have, again, those similar features to what you would want in a color for talking harmony. So they have a black, brown, or jet black hair, let's say, for example, that would really go gorgeous, or a very, very dark, deep, high contrast salt and pepper hair for their coloring when it starts to gray, let's say, for example. That would also look absolutely stunning. Or another palette that can carry off a more neutral, almost warm black is the Deep palette. And oh my God, like, look at this. This always reminds me of like old world library colors. So stunning, absolutely stunning. It's so rich and dramatic and romantic at the same time. But again, you can see this with me, so overpowering. Like, I cannot pull these colors off. And I know you guys have obviously seen me in the spring, but there are a lot of men and women that suit these colors and they have that gorgeous richness to their skin. And it is absolutely striking to see them in these types of colors. Just like the other version is a bright or clear palette, which is a combination between a winter and a spring. And we've got a little bit of a more neutral, slightly warmer black as well. And this is another palette that might be able to carry off some black. But baby, that's it. The other 13 palettes are not a match for black. They're just not. And it's not to say that you can't wear it, right? But if you are looking for something that really makes your coloring glow, like this color really resonates with me and enhances my natural coloring as well, then you want something that speaks to you. And black is just not one of those things. And so one of the things that I hate bursting the bubble with, but if you are a natural blonde, black is just not your thing. Because you don't have enough contrast in your coloring. And that was a tough pill for me to swallow because I was a very natural blonde as a baby. But it's just not a part of your natural coloring. It's too high contrast and too dramatic for you. All right, so if I go to a warmer brown instead, that's slightly deeper, and we'll go versus the black as well. So again, you're looking to see where the eye looks at the person in whole. And so if I'm looking at black again, and I'm comparing between the two, again, there's more contrast here, and again, not ideal because I'm wearing makeup right now. But if I go between here and here, do you see how a softness comes back to my features? There's more of a glow to my coloring. Whereas if I go to black, see how the eye goes here and then my face? And again, I get more shadowing here. You'll see the lines look more pronounced on my face. So there is just more of a shadowing and almost an aging effect that comes when I'm wearing black. Here they're softer. Again, you see the shadowing lifts a little bit more here, and everything looks more in harmony. And no, it's not because I'm wearing more browns on my eyes. Again, I know that you shouldn't be wearing makeup while you're doing an analysis, but this is just to show, to follow where your eye goes. This is one of the keys that you can test on yourself, even at home, is see where the eye goes when you're wearing color. Does it look at the color, or does it look at you and the color, which shows harmony? So this, no harmony, this has harmony. It's amazing what a difference it makes. You'll also notice that with my hair, if I kind of squiggle down a bit, my hair looks more ash here and it falls flat. Whereas when I move to the brown, it ends up looking more rich. And there's more coloring back to it. And again, that's because this harmonizes with my coloring versus the black. So always follow the eye and see where it goes when you are figuring out where or if black looks good on you. The other thing, as I mentioned, is that if you need more makeup to make a color work, it's not in harmony with you. This is why, you know, a lot of people, I think I'd shown the example before of Cameron Diaz where she had a darker brown, or maybe it was black hair, I can't remember, for her coloring. And some people are like, oh, well, she still looks really great with it. And yes, she is a beautiful, striking woman, but they had to really darken her makeup to make it work, which goes back to my point before that I was talking about with makeup. And so in situations like that, her hair actually looked like a wig. Whereas when you see her in her true coloring, when she's blonde and everything's warm and yummy on her, you can see that her coloring pops much more. And the other thing too is that when you're wearing black or any color that doesn't harmonize with your skin, it actually creates more blotchiness and more shadowing and texture to the skin. So if you've ever gotten ready in the morning and you think, my God, like I'm putting on way more makeup than what I normally do, it's not you or your skin, it's the color that you're wearing and how it reflects into your skin that's giving the appearance of blotchy skin or creating that texture that is not necessarily desirable. And so while we are definitely in a world of black, embrace color. It's so much fun. I feel like this is why so many of us, when spring and summer come around, we are craving color. We are happy to see it. There's so many energetics and healing properties behind color, which I do dive into in my color analysis training, and I will get into that further here as well. But there is just so much fun that's involved with color. It makes us happy. It's fun to see in a closet, and it makes things feel often very fashion forward and very exciting as well. And so again, if this is on your heart, if you would love to learn the art of color analysis, I would be happy to teach you. The doors again are currently open just for the next week and a half, but I would love to have you in my world. And again, we'll leave the class information for that down below. And so again, while you can wear whatever you want, of course you can wear whatever you want. Again, just keep in mind the black doesn't necessarily work for everyone. And so while it's been shown to be the feel-safe thing in fashion, there are a lot of other beautiful neutrals out there that you could fall into if neutrals are your thing, to create versatility in your closet that may harmonize with your skin tone a little better. And so with that said, I'm sending you all the love to the moon and back, and I will catch you again in the next video. Bye.